someone, exactly.
This.
We are ready to rock tonight. Okay. Can't. Well, Shabbat Shalom to everyone here. We're very happy that you're here. And to everyone at home, we're very happy that you are also here with us in some way. Kendra Hess is going to help us bring in this Shabbat.
So we're gonna learn a little nigun, and all of you here, this filled room, is gonna sing really loud. And then we'll bring this melody back later in the evening. So this is a interesting choice of syllables for this nigun. So it's bum, biddy bum. That's it. So, got it? It's super easy.
We have all these secret singers in the crowd, so.
Goes like this. Bum, biddy bum. This is for your the low singers. We do have different parts, but I'm just going to teach you this part. Bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum. Let's just try that. Bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum. Listen. Bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum. So it just goes back and forth. So, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum, bum, biddy bum. That's the whole thing. Bum, biddy bum, 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 bum, biddy bum. I'm going to teach you the next part actually because I think it's good. So, na-ma-na. Again, interesting choice of syllables. Here we go. Na-ma-na. Try that. Na-ma-na. 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 Listen. Na-ma-na. Na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na. Na-ma-na. Na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na. We'll try that again. Na-ma-na. 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 Na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na. Again. Na-ma-na. 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 Na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na. Bum-bidi-bum. 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 Bum-bidi-bum.
I like it.
Just remember that for later.
I like it. We're ready. This week, every time it is 5 p.m., it starts to feel like midnight. It feels, right? Yes, thank you, Nancy Marks. And I'm ready to go to sleep right at 5 p.m. And it made me pull out this book that I was reading last year. It's called Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat by Catherine May. Have any of you heard of it before? So I want to share with you a bit of an excerpt that she shares about her idea of wintering. She says, plants and animals don't fight the winter. They don't pretend it's not happening and attempt to carry on living the same lives that they lived in the summer. They prepare, they adapt, they perform extraordinary acts of metamorphosis to get them through. Wintering is a time of withdrawing from the world, maximizing scant resources, carrying out acts of brutal efficiency, and vanishing from sight. But that's where the transformation occurs. Winter is not the death of the life cycle, but it's crucible. And then she shares one more description that I just love. She says, this process of wintering is one of reflection and recuperation, of slow replenishment, of putting your house in order. Doing these deeply unfashionable things, she says, slowing down, letting your spare time expand, getting enough sleep, resting, which is a radical act now, is essential. And so as we approach Shabbat, which is meant to be our weekly exercise of rest, and maybe just think about what it might look like for all of us to lean in to the wintering, right? Instead of resisting the 5 p.m., it feels like midnight, just embracing it, maybe cozying up, maybe slowing down a bit, and that Shabbat can be a taste of that for all of us. So we are going to move into our Kabbalat Shabbat service. This is actually meant to physically be our opportunity to slow down from a hectic week. And we are doing that with familiar words, Shabbat, Shalom. So all of you can sing along here with Cantor Kate, with Cantor Haas. I keep doing that, Cantor Haas. I'll get it, I promise. I really will.
Just kidding. So we're going to look at page 331 because there are other words to this song that I know some of you may know, but we're going to do them today. Page 331 at the bottom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Let's do that again. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Part 2, Shir HaMalot. Shir HaMalot, Beshuv Adonai. Let's do that again. Shir HaMalot, Beshuv Adonai, Et Shivat Zion, Hayinu kecholmim. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Just your voices. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
We're on page 10. Page 10.
Yedid nefesh al harachaman. Except we're really not going to sing that high because it's too high for me. What'd you say?
Sounds great.
You guys need to sing. Yedid nefesh al harachaman So in this next couple of weeks, we'll usher in the season of light. This idea that it's the darkest time of the year, which I always find to be so interesting, and that yet this holiday brings us the most amount of light. And I don't think it's just light in the physical sense, but I think it's light in the feeling, in the warmth, in the being with family, or the ability to take some time off. I know that's like a really hard thing to believe, but kids get to go and play and just be kids for a couple of weeks, and they get to play in the snow or go to the beach or whatever they're doing over their vacation. But it's something that brings so much joy and light to all of us and to each other. I want us to take this moment now to, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, to maybe think of the things in your life that bring you light, that bring you that extra warmth that maybe you don't feel the rest of the year. And imagine that light just reaching every part of you, inside, outside, in your heart. And then allowing that light to just fill you with the warmth of love and this joyous season that we're about to embark upon. Maybe we can hold on to that light a little bit throughout the year, knowing it's there when you need it. So we'll officially welcome in Shabbat with our next prayer, Lecha Dodi. You can find those words on page 20. We'll be doing verses 2, 5, and 9. Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat nekabela, ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shemu tiferet Velitchila Ya elai Ya la 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 Lecha dodi Ya la 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 Likrat kala Ya la 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 Penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machashava techila ya elai ya la 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 lecha dodi ya la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 penei Shabbat nekabela.
Top of 21.
Hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori Uri, Uri, Shir Daveri, Kevod Adonai, Alayich Nigla, Ya Elai Lai, Ya La 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 Lechadoti, Ya La 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 Likrat Kala, Ya La 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat Nekabela.
Bottom of 21, we rise and face the entrance.
Boi v'shalom, Ateret bala, Gam besimcha, Usohola, Toch emunei, Am segula, Boi chala, Boi chala, Yai lai lai, Ya la 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 lechadoti, Ya la 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 likrat kala, Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We are going to continue standing. I like that we have our spirit coordinators over here who are even clapping on the right beat. I see you. We are going to move into the Baruch Hu, and this is just our prayer inviting us to be present in this space, wherever we've been this past week, whatever it took us to get here right now, whatever we have to do next after this. This prayer invites us to just be here for this amount of time that we get to have together. So we join together. We're on 28.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
The bottom of 31. Let's read together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. And let's continue on the top of 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So every week on a Wednesday afternoon, Cantor Hass and I are in this exact space with our Hebrew school students. And they, as we pray, they come up to this bima as if it is their bima. It is their bima, but they own it as their bima, and they joyfully run to, it's a truth, they really run. They run to do these prayers, and they bring their stuffed animals, and they share about their lives, and they do hand motions, even sixth graders. And it makes me think about every time we join together in Micha Mocha, what kind of space we can create where people can be their kooky, full, multi-dimensional selves, and that the students have that ability to do that here, but what would it look like for us as adults to also be able to have that, where we don't have to curate who we are, and we don't have to just bring out a piece of ourselves, but that we trust that people will be curious about all aspects of ourselves, and where we can be messy sometimes, and where we can make mistakes, and where we know that we will still be just known and seen and loved. And so as we join together in Mi Chamocha, I just want to invite all of us to make, even for this one prayer, let this be your moment to just be your whole selves, and to think about what that experience of freedom really looks like when we can have places in our homes and in our workplaces and in this world where we get to have what our students have as well. So we'll join together. We are on page 40. Mi Chamocha.
Lucy, Nancy's waiting to dance with you. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pele, nora tehilot osei pele. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai. Last time. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pele, nora tehilot osei pele.
Next time. Yes.
You have to remind us.
We're on it.
So, in addition to having this ability to be our true selves and to have this moment to dance and to sing, we also have something else that's really special, and that is this protective, safe community. Whether it's our families, our temple community, our school communities, whatever it may be, we feel this safety, this protection, and that's what this next prayer, Hashkivenu, is asking God for, this continued sense of safety and protection that so many in this world do not have, especially right now. And so it is, I think, something that we just can't ever take for granted. And so we take this opportunity on our supplements. For those of you who need the words, they're on the bottom of the first, well, there is no page, the bottom of this page on the right-hand side. And we'll join in our prayer for peace, asking God for that continued safety and peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom, V'ha'amidenu Malkeinu L'chaim, Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter brings light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Adonai. Amen. Amen. Amen.
We're on page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
52.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom, yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We'll continue in silent prayer through page 62. You can pray the words of the Amidah or take some quiet time for yourself. Maybe explore that idea of wintering, and we'll all be seated when you're ready.
biddy bum bum 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 biddy bum namana 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 nama 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 namana 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 nama 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 namana zaru ala tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha 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 bum biddy bum 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 bum.
Indeed, Glenn. My favorite Hollywood moments are often ones of long-awaited reunions. Luke Skywalker finally meeting his father in the flesh at the end of the Star Wars trilogy. Nemo and his father Marlin reuniting after an entire movie of searching for one another. Princess Buttercup. I know this is really what movie references do you all know? Discovering that her long-lost love, Wesley, is still alive in The Princess Bride. Exactly. And in this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach, we find an equally powerful reunion for the ages. For though the Torah contains many sacred teachings and moments from our people's narrative, few seem as sacred as the time when the Torah provides glimpses into the very real and very raw emotion of human relationships. And in this week's Parsha, we find one of those times, as it offers us a precious window into the complexity and the messiness of family relationships through a 20-year reunion in the making, a window that may hit a little close to home for some of us. After 20 years abroad, Jacob finally returns home to the land of Canaan. En route, he sends messengers to inform his estranged brother Esau of his return. And this is the first time that the Torah mentions Esau, since depicting him literally weeping when he discovers Jacob's treachery and begs for his father's blessing, which Jacob stole, before resolving to kill his younger brother. And now, years removed from this bitter disappointment, Esau confirms that he will indeed join his brother, but Jacob isn't quite sure how Esau will react. In fact, Jacob is so terrified that his brother will seek revenge that he divides his family into separate camps and prepares an escape route in case Esau and his men attack him. On the evening prior to this fateful encounter, Jacob stirs in his sleep, famously wrestling all night long with a divine being or angel, or perhaps his own conscience. The next morning, Jacob sees Esau from a distance, accompanied by 400 men. What would you think if you saw your brother accompanied by 400 men, But he courageously decides to walk forward and to meet him, bowing low to the ground 7 times as he approaches him. Esau, in return, runs to greet Jacob, embraces him, kisses him on the neck, and they both weep together. Our ancient rabbis, puzzled by this surprising and seemingly perfect reunion, try to unpack this encounter. In an attempt to villainize Esau, the rabbis of Midrash Tanhuma teach that Esau doesn't really kiss Jacob, but rather tries to bite his neck in order to carry out his 20-year-old grudge. I know, the rabbis are dark. Many others, however, including the great medieval commentator Ibn Ezra, tell us that we should read Esau's embrace as genuine and heartfelt. For the first time, we witness Jacob who shows humility as he bows low to Esau repeatedly, perhaps as an unspoken apology for all that he took from his brother that he was supposed to love so many years ago. And Esau, with the upper hand, poised to fight with this army of hundreds, instead races to greet his brother and embraces him, ostensibly moved by Jacob's gesture. And so this moment of possible confrontation transforms into one of reconciliation. Nahum Sarna in the JPS Torah commentary points out that Esau's kiss, undoubtedly sincere, appropriately signals a final resolution to the chain of tragic events precipitated by that other kiss, by Jacob's deceitful kiss. He's referring to that moment when their father Isaac kisses Jacob as Jacob pretends to be Esau and steals his brother's blessing. That played such a crucial role in the original blessing scene. A story that could have so easily ended in violence and in despair instead becomes one of profound hope and forgiveness. Rarely in the biblical text, and certainly in our own relationships, do we get this kind of blockbuster reunion. Far too often, instead, the longer the rift exists, the harder it becomes to mend, as life and circumstance and pain and ego and all of the very good reasons get in the way. And yet, the Torah here gently reminds us that repair is possible, and that even amidst real hurt and brokenness, so long as we approach with bravery and with humility and with an investment in the process and not necessarily the outcome, that we too can find repair in our own lives. You see, Jacob takes a risk when he decides to face Esau, who very well could have been plotting against him. Yet his bravery acts as the first step towards their reunion. The willingness to even pick up the phone to reach out to someone amidst deep hurt requires a sense of courage, as we see with Jacob's own turmoil as he literally wrestles an external or internal force of fear and regret in anticipation of his meeting. Yet Jacob also models humility. Though it may appear a little melodramatic, bowing to the ground 7 times before Esau, it lays the foundation for an open-hearted reply. Too often we allow our pride or our need to be right to sit at the forefront of our own narratives with others. But here, Jacob understands that whether his actions long ago were right or wrong, it's on him to make this first gesture. And finally, the Torah this week offers us perhaps the most honest and wise teaching of all, that forgiveness and reconciliation don't always mean the renewal of a relationship. For true repair to occur, we must invest in the process without a clear expectation or even attachment to the outcome. At the end of their reunion, Esau offers to continue on the journey together with Jacob in the hopes of forging this new relationship. Let us start on our way. I will go at your side, says Esau. But Jacob has a different plan. Let my Lord go on ahead of his servant, Jacob humbly replies. As for myself, let me proceed on my way at my own pace. Perhaps this is Jacob's way of saying another hard truth that he can't quite muster, that he wants to part ways and continue separately. Though the anger and the fear might have dissipated, Jacob might not be ready or frankly even interested in an ongoing relationship with his brother. The Torah knows all too well that we don't always get that Hollywood ending. We can make amends with an estranged child or parent or sibling, but it doesn't mean that we get the kind of relationship that we always yearn for. And we can forgive our partners or let go of our anguish at a broken friendship or divorce, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to come back together. And yet, Jacob and Esau are changed by their reunion. The hurt may not disappear, and the longing for the brother or the connection that they wish they had may still be present. But Jacob and Esau imperfectly teach us that so often, forgiveness is not necessarily about freeing the other person. It's really about freeing ourselves, of letting go of something that we no longer need to carry. Amidst our stories of family in the biblical text, we find ourselves in the quintessential season of family. And I find that the most festive holidays can remind us of all of the love and all of the family and all of the blessings that we have. And it can also magnify the relationships that are broken and the family members who aren't present. This imperfect story of two brothers concludes with an imperfect solution, but also a real one, of weeping together, of embracing each other, and in the end, for this story, of once again departing from one another. But this time, the separation is different, for we finally get to meet a Jacob who can demonstrate humility and indirectly perhaps acknowledge his deceit, and we can welcome an Esau who can forgive and who can finally let go of the hurt that he's held onto for so many years. So as we move toward our new year, I pray that we can all learn to face our relationships imperfectly, with bravery and with humility and with honesty, and finally reconcile the losses that still might also be able to be repaired. Wishing all of you a Shabbat Shalom. We think of this notion of brokenness as we prepare to join together in our Mishaberach prayer. For often we think of Mishaberach as a healing from all of our physical illnesses, and we do recognize that with Mishaberach, but we also perhaps can also think about the other kinds of brokennesses that exist within us or within our relationships as well as we offer this prayer for healing. And so if there's someone that you are thinking of on this Shabbat who you would like to offer a prayer for healing, a Mishaberach, I invite you at this time to stand up and to share their name out loud so we can all pray for them together. The middle of 253.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We rise for Aleinu on 282.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו
Words to prepare us for Mourner's Kaddish on 291. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, but their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. As we recite Kaddish this Shabbat, we especially remember Howard Axelrod, Edgard Aberman, Julius Bendat, Betty Bernhard, Norman Breslow, PhD, Rita Brucker, Annette Korn, Charlotte Chain Davis, Lottie Fetchheimer, Stephen Feig, Sadie Flom, Louis Gertz, Ernest Green, Harry Groby, Tracy Lynn Grunauer Baxter, Beverly Karp, Stuart Kaland, Nathaniel Lamb, Juliet Lieber, Annette Lichman, Harold Joseph Mirish, Zev Peled, Jan Peters, Pearl Ginnison Ribbit, Doris Rosenfeld, Ernest Sable, Sylvia Schneider, Alice Stoller-Scott, Marvin Siegel, Jay Silvershire, Sydney Smith, and Esther Swiller. If there are other names that we should add, or if I mispronounce the name of your loved one, I invite you to please share their name at this time. We also think of those who are innocent victims of violence and those who have perished protecting our country and our people's ancient home. We'll join together as a community in memory in Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. And I invite you to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei dekudasha barechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ve'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom v'mermav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories truly be for a blessing.
Say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, Shalom aleinu, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.